everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Talking Tuong, the weekly show where I get to stream and connect with people all over the internet, my friends and family from near and far. And today I have a very special guest with me who's never been on an episode of Talking Tuong, but you may have heard her on very ridiculous episodes of Ranked Top 5 lists of stuff that don't matter. She is the person who ranked a pizza on top of another pizza as top 5 pizza toppings. She also ranked cat dog as the best dog, I think it was, or cat. I forget which one it was. I think it was dog. You just said cat dog was the best, but only the dog portion of cat dog. Very ridiculous. But today we have, and I'm using a random adjective generator here, we have the empty yet wonderful Colleen the Fang Wang.
Wow, why is that so accurate?
I feel every time I use this, every time you use a random adjective generator, it always starts with like a really like aggressive one and then balances out with something nice. So Colleen, thanks for being on the show.
Hi, thanks for having me. So good to talk to you.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in person in so long. It's very nice to hear your voice. How the hell have you been?
It's all right. As good as we all can be.
Yeah. You're doing the coronavirus quarantine over there?
I'm doing the dance, yeah.
Colleen, for the people who have never heard your voice before, the people who don't know who you are, tell us who you are and how you've been keeping happy during the times of the Rona.
Well, who I am. I am a person who knows tongue through improv. Just, what am I doing? It feels so weird. I'm like, how long have I been in quarantine? I don't even know. And what have I been doing? A lot. I moved during quarantine.
That must be tough, honestly, to do that.
Yeah, it was all right. So we hired movers, so it was pretty easy. They did all the work.
Were they wearing masks and stuff, or like they don't care?
They were not. I think it was kind of impossible. We tried to like stay away from them, but at the end of the day, they're still just, they have touched everything, and we have moved out. We were moving out of a condo building, and I mean, that's the fun of moving out of a large building, is there's just so many doors to get it to like the garbage room, to get to the garage, to get up to all these things. And by the end, I just felt like we're just touching everything. Like, when you move and you have so much stuff kind of just like left over at the end.
That's about to happen to me. Like I'm not looking forward to it, and we're not getting movers. So
no,
it's going to be tough.
Yeah. Are you excited?
I'm very excited to move for sure.
It is exciting. It's gonna be nice for you guys.
Yeah, I agree. But it's not about me today, Colleen. It's about you. Are you watching like TV? Are you baking? Are you making bread? Are you what else are you doing? Like what's up with Colleen during the Rona?
What am I doing? Well, moving was a big thing. So like packing and the moving, unpacking, bought a bunch of furniture. So there's like a new like human-sized box every day that our junk is coming in.
Did you get a house, or like what's happening here?
It's like a 6-unit condo. It's a small condo, like unit. So it's 3 stories only. Okay. And then we have like a back patio that has like a direct access to the ground. So it's kind of, it's like a apartment, but also almost like a townhouse, maybe. Like all right. More of that kind of vibe than like a big condo, like a tower.
Okay. All right. Well, don't describe it too much. Otherwise, people know where you live. You've already given away a lot of information, like that you have a patio, you can access it.
We have a fire exit in case of emergencies.
You have a lot of boxes being delivered.
Yeah.
I feel like people,
we have
let's
furniture.
Just not give away too much. Can't trust the people listening to Talking Tuong. I'm just saying that. Just kidding.
Bunch of perverts.
A bunch of perverts. Yeah. Creeping my guests. But Colleen, are you ready to talk about the news of the week?
I'll talk about it.
Let's talk about it. But again, everyone knows this, but in case this is your first episode ever, first of all, welcome. This is Colleen. But the second thing is
best episode ever.
Best episode. Talking about boxes and
Thanks
moving.
For tuning in.
We don't talk about real news. We talk about, I guess it's news that I find that's real and the news that I like to hear because, like listening to real news is very depressing these days. And sometimes you just need a little break from that. Not to say that it's not important, but sometimes you just want to hear fluff. And that's why we're here today to talk about the fluff. So we have some pop culture news like this, Colleen.
Yeah.
And
just dissect the hard stuff, like the real stuff. Before and after this,
but not during
40 minutes of, like you said, fluff.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what I have here is stuff that I'm not even sure if Colleen even knows what this is, but let's find out. Do you know The Undertaker is retiring from the WWE, Colleen?
I didn't know that.
Okay. Do you have feelings about The Undertaker?
Okay, he has greasy black hair, right?
Yeah.
Well, does he still look like that?
I'll be honest, I don't actually I knew who the Undertaker was when I was a kid, but I don't care for wrestling anymore.
Why do I know I think I know who he is. He has black cut off t-shirts.
Yeah, he's usually wearing a beater, but a black one, and he has long black hair, and I don't know, he's pretty popular, and sometimes he wears he wears a black hat sometimes and shows a lot of his pecs in a lot of the outfits that he wears. I don't know.
Well,
thought that was interesting.
Congratulations on retirement, sir.
Yeah. I mean, he's been in the business for a long time, so there you go. Colleen, how excited are you for Crash Bandicoot 4?
You know what? Well, not at all.
Okay, go on.
But I will say, so when I was a kid, I wanted an Xbox. No, not an Xbox. What are they called? A GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
So bad because all my friends had them, and I just wanted one.
Yep.
What did I get for Christmas? A PlayStation.
But
what?
But a PlayStation is what had Crash Bandicoot on it, right?
That's what I'm getting at.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to play Mario Kart and that stuff because that's what all my friends had. None of my friends had PlayStations. So I got a PlayStation, so I had to just play Crash Bandicoot by myself.
And you didn't have a good time with it?
It was all right. I think I had fun at the time just because it was a game and I was a kid. But it was I wish I had Mario Kart.
Oh, that's fair. I guess Crash Bandicoot, the sequel, is just causing a little bit of flashback and being oh, well, if I play this, then it means I'm alone. So
yeah, it's kind of hard times, but good times,
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Are you excited?
You know what? I am. I mean, why not? Why not? Bring us back Crash Bandicoot. It's been a long time. It's called It's About Time. The last Crash Bandicoot full game wasn't it was super long ago. So it's time. It's time. Let's see what it's like.
All right.
Dude. Doesn't wear a shirt. Wears pants though. Very weird. No neck as well. He's just all face and a big hunch. So I like his character design. All right. Colleen, here we go. Here's some announcements for you. Chicken Run 2 confirmed by Netflix 20 years after the original. Did you like Chicken Run 1?
Pass.
All right.
I did. All right, I didn't watch that.
You didn't? Do you know what I'm talking? You know what Chicken Run is? The claymation and the chickens?
Maybe.
Okay.
Was there a dog and a man?
I don't remember now. Now I remember the chickens of Chicken Run.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up on my second screen Chicken Run. But you can continue if you want or cut this out.
Well, I have some other news, but I'm just gonna skip over it because I don't think you care. So
try me.
Well, do you care that Mixer is shutting down and going to Facebook Gaming?
No.
Okay, I'll pass. How about this? Joel Schumacher, who made Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, died. So that's sad.
Oh,
okay,
literally passed away.
Literally passed. He passed away. Ooh, okay. Tough crowd with Colleen here. Okay, how about this one, Colleen? Disney has announced that it will no longer open its California parks and hotels on July 17th. As the state of California will not offer guidelines for reopening the theme parks until July 4th. Downtown Disney will still reopen on July 9th with all current health protocols followed, which is a weird thing if you think about it. Like it says no longer open on July 17th for the hotels and parks, but the downtown Disney will still reopen on the 9th. And like this is getting a little into the real news and stuff, but we can just kind of dance around it, is that it just seems too soon, especially in Florida. Let's just say that.
Yeah, for sure. Florida.
I just don't get it. Just don't open. Disney has enough money. They can stay closed for an entire year.
Right?
Although I know they're losing billions of dollars by not being open, but again, they are multi-billionaires.
They own everything else. Like I'm sure their other non-theme park companies are making tons of money.
Exactly.
For example, are you playing Sorcerer's Arena?
Am I playing, sorry?
Sorcerer's Arena?
No, what's that?
It's a Disney game. It's like a Disney mobile game that I've been playing with like Jeff and his buddies.
Okay. And is it fun?
Yeah. Join our club, man.
Hey, when I asked you like what you're doing during the times of the Rona, you just said moving, but you didn't talk about this game.
There's so many things that I guess it's like not interesting pre-Rona, but it is now all consuming. I was still trying to play it cool, but then I was like, no, this is what I'm doing.
I like how you like Crash Bandicoot, but this mobile game, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. It's a Disney mobile game.
Cool. I won't check it out. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't like mobile games.
What?
I said it. But do you know what? Do you like this part of Disney? They are replacing Splash Mountain with instead it's after the Princess and the Frog now, instead of just regular Splash Mountain, which had ties to Song of the South. And there's a little bit there was a lot of racism and stuff attached to that ride and the name of it originally. So now it's going to be something that's a little bit more modern. And Princess and the Frog, a lot of people like that movie.
I love that. I did hear about that.
Yeah. How do you feel about? I feel like all the news that I have all have to do with racism in some way, which it's not like it's very important to talk about. But I'm sorry to say we're getting slightly political when just 10 minutes ago I said we're not touching anything political. But a lot of actors and actresses as of this week have stepped away from their roles on TV shows. Have you seen that? Like Family Guy, The Simpsons, Big Mouth, Central Park, all of the actors are just saying like, hey, we're going to step like a lot of, I think it's like a very good move. Some people obviously are complaining about it because it's like, okay, well, this person voices a dog. Should we get a dog to do that? Like, I think that's kind of a ridiculous argument to begin with. But I think it's a step in the right direction.
I think for sure, especially the ones that had accents. Yeah.
Oh yeah. 100%. How do you feel about Margot Robbie?
Oh no! Did she do something bad? Because I
no.
her?
No. She's good. Isn't that the worst when you see someone trending on like Twitter or Facebook and you're like, oh shit, is this person a dirtbag now?
Yeah.
Margot Robbie is now going to star in the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Oh, instead of Keira Knightley?
Instead of Jack Sparrow, instead of Johnny Depp, it seems like.
Awesome.
It says that the long-running franchise that had Pirate Jack Sparrow at its center is now going to explore like a new origin story or original story with a new pirate. So that could be really cool.
Do you think Johnny Depp is attractive?
You know what? I see the appeal. I mean, he doesn't do it for me, but I see the appeal. Do you?
No, he does nothing for me. I am so glad it's going to be Margot Robbie now.
And Margot Robbie does everything for you.
She does a lot more than Johnny Depp.
What is her pirate name? If it's not Jack Sparrow, is it Jackie Sparrow? Are they that lazy about it?
Oh, do you think? Or do you think it's going to be like
Jacqueline Sparrow?
Or like Tina.
Yes. Jack's a pretty boring
Tina
name.
Bucket Gold. Something completely different.
Tina Ship Parrot. Something really bad. Tina Hook Face.
Tina Hook Face?
Yeah, very good. What else do we got? We have a couple delays in movies. And here's the thing is that these movies are very adamant about releasing in theaters. And again, I talked about this in the last Talking Tongue episode, but basically I feel I don't want to go to a movie theater, A, with a mask in general, and B, I don't want to be
snacks.
Yeah, or like I'll be honest with you, Colleen, I don't really eat snacks during the movies. Like I don't not usually the one to get popcorn, although if you get popcorn and you're like I'm
Excuse me?
done, if you say I'm done with my popcorn, I'll eat your popcorn, but that is not my
But you don't
game that
eat
I'm
like
trying.
you don't eat candy. You don't.
No, it's too expensive.
You sneak it in.
Oh yeah, I guess I could do that.
Some
I
jelly
just
beans in your pocket.
the thing is when I usually see movies, I usually have like a big meal beforehand. So then I don't have to snack while I'm doing it.
Mm,
And then I used to be like, well, I guess it's legal now, but I used to like sneak a beer in like every now and then. But then I
that's fun.
decided I don't like doing that because then I have to pee during the movies.
It's true. You know what you have to do is you have to get those cans of wine.
Oh,
They're small, they're compact, but they're like three glasses of wine worth. But it's in like a
oh,
Red
really?
Bull size can.
I like that better. So it's just like maximum impact, but doesn't need to make you pee.
Yeah.
I did this for Avengers Endgame. The first time, like watching it opening day is like one of like most excited for a movie I've ever been ever. And I peed, no joke, that day like 50 times before the movie
Just to
because
prepare.
just to prepare like the entire day. I'm
But
just like, I gotta watch my body fluids. I got like, I do not want to pee during the movie. So like,
but tongue,
yes,
I'm trying to understand because
yes.
peeing more times doesn't like get rid
I
of
don't,
more stuff.
I just, I think that actually made it worse because the gates were
Yeah.
open.
Yeah, your
Uh,
body is like, we're doing this now.
we're just like constantly streaming. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with tongue today. But that's what I did. That was the game plan and it worked. But at the end, I had to pee really badly anyway. So I don't really know like, why I did that, I guess. But going back to the movies being delayed and stuff, like we have Mulan being delayed once again.
Mm,
It originally was supposed to release in March and it's supposed to be one of the biggest movies of the entire year. Like it was on track. In fact, before all of the quarantine and lockdown was happening, like they already had their red carpet event, which happens usually a week before it releases. But it just happened to be a red carpet release and then things shut down, which is super sad.
yeah.
So it got delayed from June, July, and now it's August 21st. And then, even then, I'm like, it seems too soon. Like, I don't even know what you're going to do, honestly.
Well, I noticed. So, obviously being home, we just are watching more things. And then, usually on Friday nights or something, we'll hop on the old wherever you like rent or buy movies online.
Yep.
And I feel like now there are no new movies coming out.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, some of them are doing the like straight to digital, and I think like that's a good thing to do. I like it watching stuff in the comfort of my own home. And also like if you even rent one of those movies at home, like King of Staten Island just came out, it was $20, but it's still cheaper than 2 movie tickets. If I'm
True.
watching it with Laura and I can pause it, I can go to the bathroom. I don't have to pee a million
You
times
don't have
before the
to
movie.
pre-pee 50 times
Yeah,
that day.
exactly. So I kind of like that. But these studios like Tenet, for example, with Christopher Nolan, his got pushed to August. Bill and Ted with Keanu Reeves, that got moved to August too.
Mm,
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's interesting what the movie theaters are trying to do with like still trying to keep that alive. And I get it. I like seeing movies at the theater, even though a lot of people piss me off at the theaters. But I don't know. I don't know. It's just a weird time. I just don't know when I would want to go back.
yeah.
How do you feel about Gone with the Wind?
I've never seen it. I
Uh-huh.
heard that it's racist
Yes,
and
yes,
long,
yes.
and that's
I
it.
have actually. I've only seen it a little bit. Actually, back in the day, I saw it in like grade 7 English class or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Random, random. But anyways, they HBO Max pulled it from HBO Max,
I
and
heard
like
that.
the president of the states was going nuts about it, and a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, you're taking away our classic movies!" But instead, they just took it away so that they can put like a disclaimer before the movie and
Yes.
add some extra content, which I think is smart.
Yeah. Yeah. I read that too, or I heard it somewhere on a podcast. Yeah. I think
Well,
that's good.
people are hearing it for the first time on this podcast. I break the news here. I tell you news that is probably old. But I honestly think like I agree with that is if you put a disclaimer before a thing, like I don't agree with, taking down art forever. There's some touchy stuff, which is fine. I think there's a merit to some cases of taking it down forever. But in other cases, if you put like this thing, it's just like, hey, this is a product of its time and blah, blah, blah. Here's some additional like extras that you can put on that address this and like maybe make an essay about it kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think
you're
there's
like
something to it.
Exactly. You're like, this is the context.
Exactly.
And then we're not just putting this out there because we think this is great and we condone it, but this is just to give you a little more of a background and context, and then maybe you can learn more about what it was like at that time. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. All right, Colleen, final news story. I saved the best for last. It's not the swimming in Animal Crossing because I know you don't Animal Cross, so I'm just going to skip past it, even though it's really exciting news, and that should have been an entire news story.
Okay, what is the difference? Oh, no, never mind.
You know, you have to ask us now. Go ahead.
I was like, what's the difference between Animal Crossing and like other mobile games?
Okay, now I'm shutting down this conversation.
Okay.
I just took major offense to that, and we're going to move on. But how about this, Colleen? Cobra Kai. Did you ever like The Karate Kid?
No.
Okay, well, I just thought that was my big... I was like, surely Colleen watched The Karate Kid. But
like maybe once, and was like, cool.
All right. Well, that's so much for that. That was a big dud. But hey, listen.
But just like Star Wars, I know things about it, even though I haven't seen it.
Well, I think the news is that Netflix will be streaming it. It used to be a YouTube original, which is stopped being a thing because YouTube was kind of getting their own series for a while, like their own originals. And then they're like, let's pivot. They're only doing like documentaries mostly now, I think.
Okay.
And so this thing that it was a sequel to The Karate Kid is now
which
coming
is the
to
movie
Netflix.
with Jaden Smith, right?
Well, that's the new Karate Kid. They're talking about the old Karate Kid. Oh,
no, I'm
man.
just kidding. I was just seeing if I would elicit
that would
a
rattle
response.
me up.
Mm-hmm.
It did. Successful. But hey, this is good. This is a good segue into Netflix will be streaming it just like it was streaming our movie of the week this week.
Wow.
Colleen, tell us what the movie of the week is.
It's called Princess Mononoke.
You cannot alter your fate, however. You can rise to meet it if you choose.
Yes.
Did I say it
Princess
right?
Mononoke. Yes. I say Princess Mononoke, but I think it's Princess Mononoke. I don't know. Now, this is interesting because usually I let my guests pick the movie of the week.
Oh, wait, what?
Instead, I was like, hey, Colleen, you want to watch Princess Mononoke?
And I was like, what is that?
Yeah, well, I don't want to get into a race thing here, but Colleen's Asian. I'm Asian.
And I thought it was like from Asian Power.
Well, you didn't watch Karate Kid, so I don't even know who you are anymore. But it was like, oh, surely Colleen has an opinion on Studio Ghibli films. And then
what was my response? Yeah, so the conversation went like, tongue.
Go ahead.
I'll be tongue.
You tell the story. Yeah. You tell the story.
Hey, Colleen, do you like the Studio Ghibli? Ghibli?
Oh,
what did you say? How did you say it?
Studio Ghibli.
Oh, I'm like nervous. Okay. Yeah, I've only seen it spelled. And I was like, let me Google it. You're just like, wow, worst Asian ever.
I think I actually did write that. But I said, let's watch a Studio Ghibli film. And I said, you can pick any one of these. So I did give you choice, technically. Turns out your partner, Jeff, loves Studio Ghibli films. He was
not Asian, but he was like so excited about it.
I'm glad that I was able to make him happy with the pick of the week. But this is this week we're tackling some Studio Ghibli because it just hit Netflix in Canada, which I'm so excited about going back and watching them all. Studio Ghibli films are so famous for their master craft and animated storytelling. And it did a big thing for anime, I think, for a lot of people to be like, oh, this is what anime can be. It can tell like really intricate stories and tell them in like big fantasy settings and like have like this insane level of detail and animation. Now that's just me gushing about it, but I'm more curious to hear what Colleen has to say about this. So Colleen, I'm going to read a summary of the movie, and then I just want to kind of open it to the floor, okay?
Oh, okay.
Princess Mononoke was made in 1997. It's an animation fantasy that's about 2 hours and 14 minutes long. The synopsis is, in the 14th century, the harmony that humans, animals, and gods have enjoyed begins to crumble. The protagonist, young Ashtika, infected by an animal attack, seeks a cure from the deer-like god Shishigami. In his travels, he sees humans ravaging the earth, bringing down the wrath of wolf god Moro and his human companion, Princess Mononoke. Hishtika attempts to broker peace between her and the humans that brings only conflict to the situation. All right, Colleen, give it to me. What did you think of this movie?
Well, I thought it was beautiful. It was so pretty. It was very soothing and really nice to look at. I really liked the art, the composition, and the visuals, except the spaghetti monster thing was disgusting.
I love that. It's so creepy.
Yeah, I hate it. So, one of my questions at the beginning was, is this like anime? Like it's animated, but quote unquote, is this anime? And you had said it was just now.
Yeah, I mean, I think Japanese anime is very distinctive. Like you can pretty much tell if something is anime or not by the way it looks. I don't really know the exact terminology of what anime is, but I always took it as like Japanese animation.
Okay. So Jeff has also been
Japanimation.
trying to get me into anime, and I am not into it. I don't like the aesthetic of most anime, but I like this one.
Give me your Asian card. Colleen, this is great because Laura's the same way. She's watched some anime, but mostly doesn't care for it. Like if I'm like watching anime, she'd be like, peace.
Okay,
Sometimes I'm watching Western television and she'll just stick around, read her book and just like have it on the background. But usually when I put on
something about anime, it's just, I don't know, kind of weird. And
but
this
was
one,
anime.
Well, okay, so this was like soft anime.
I don't think so.
Like to me, it's more cartoony. Like it wasn't like, even though this was very much for children and cartoony, there were still boobies.
Was there boobies in this?
There's always boobies. And that's one of my things with anime is, why do all the women, including young girls, have boobies? Like huge boobies. Like huge boobies all the time.
Here. Yeah.
Am I only watching like pornographic anime?
Yeah, that's called hentai, actually. So I didn't ask you to watch Princess Mana's Sexy. No, I don't got nothing.
Like the village women all had, I mean, I guess they were like in a previous life sex workers, but
yes,
they all had very low cut robes, and everyone had cleavage.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I didn't even. That's definitely a huge thing in anime. Is they get really weird with children and pedophilia and incest and big boobs and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so it's not just me.
No, it's not just you. Like anime, I think is a beautiful platform, but there's always some weird stuff when it comes to those themes. But in Studio Ghibli films, especially, I find is that they don't do that. Like it's the boobs that you saw in this, like the cleavage is so tasteful in a Japanese like anime, I think.
I guess, yeah. And I don't want to, like body shame anyone or say that it's not okay to wear low cut tops. It was just in this children's movie where everything was this like, there were like animals and everyone else. I don't know. I guess you saw like butts. You saw like men's butts. So I guess it's just like the human body. But I was just like, oh, of course. They're all the women's like
cleavage is out and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's again, I think that's funny because I really didn't think of that because it just seems so conservative for Japanese anime to have that. Wow. And it's really interesting that you say this is a children's anime, Colleen.
Is it not?
Well, I just think it's interesting because Laura immediately said after it ended, she said, I thought this was a children's anime. So I think to me, like maybe kids can watch it. Okay. Like I watched it when I was a kid, but I think the themes and like, of course it's mature. Like there's death and like blood and like people's heads getting like kind of like torn off by an arrow.
When he pops them off
amazing
due to his like demon arm. And then and then his arrow just clean takes off people's heads.
I love it. I love it so much. But like, there's, you know what I mean? There's like a big violence to the movie too. So I don't know if it's like completely kid friendly.
That's true. Yeah. Maybe it's my own bias that anything animated is for children.
That's fair. Like Laura was comparing it to how, you know, you watch like a Disney film. There's usually like something that's like, let's just take, I don't know, Toy Story for an example, like a Pixar film. And you can say, there's a lot of stuff for kids, but like if you look at the writing, a lot of it's for adults too. So it's kind of for everybody. This movie, I feel like it's more catered for an kind of a older crowd to understand all the themes that it's going for, because it explores a lot of cool shit.
Okay, yeah, interesting. I was gonna say like some of the scenery felt almost Disney-like the sweeping landscapes. It was very soothing and yeah, and I think the protagonists were young people. For kids?
Yeah, I like both protagonists. Like Ashtika, I watched. I actually don't know how to say his name well because I watched it in Japanese because I wanted this super authentic. Yeah, okay. I don't want. I knew this would come out like this. I knew this would be like, I only watch Japanese anime, so I love having the like Japanese voice acting and subtitles. But to be honest with you,
you didn't get to hear Billy Bob Thornton and Minnie Driver.
No, I didn't. Does he voice it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I'm definitely going to sound like this person because I guess I am, but I 100% like watching anime in Japanese with subtitles. That's just how I always did it.
I've seen the memes of like the subtitle person versus the voiceover person.
Great. Well,
of being don't talk to me.
I'm the meme then.
Yeah.
Colleen, did you like the music in this movie?
Oh, yeah, I did.
It stuck out to me because I think it's very soothing, but it's only very powerful and uplifting music. And it's very fitting to the fantasy setting that it goes for. And like, there's like moments of inspiration that goes on, especially with the main two characters kind of, you know, going to war with one another and with each other as well. And then fighting like these big beasts and gods and whatever. I think it just felt like a big adventure to me. And I think the music really reflected that. Yeah.
To be honest, I'm drawing a blank on how I felt about the music, but I remember I liked it.
Okay. All right. And going back a little bit, because I don't know if you actually answered this question. Did you like the film?
Yes. Okay, here's the thing.
Oh boy. Let's hear it.
Well, no, I think it means a lot to a lot of people. People watched it when they were a kid. Like this is their favorite. Like one of their favorite movies. And I feel like there's high expectations and there's a lot of nostalgia behind it. So it's and I think that weighs a lot in whether a person likes something or not. So to me, it was really nice. It was really pretty. It was great. It was nice. But I'm not like, oh my God, like this is the best movie ever. You have to watch it. I will admit, halfway through, I was like, I just want to know what time. I just want to know how long this movie is. Like, I'm totally enjoying it. And Jeff was like, oh, like, are you not enjoying it? Or like, are you bored? And I was like, no, I like it. I'm having fun. I just am wondering how long there is left. And there was still like an hour and 20 minutes left.
That's fair. I think that has a lot to do with everyone's short attention spans these days, especially mine. Like I feel that way through any type of movie, but we specifically looked at the time before we committed to it. We're like, okay, this movie's 2 hours and 15 minutes. We got to treat it like a movie that's 2 hours long and not expect it to be like an hour and a half of just like... Because there's a lot of like patience in this movie too, right? It spends a lot of time with like quiet moments, which I think is very... It's very confident in itself, you know, in its storytelling. That's how I feel about it. So like when they're bringing like Ashtika to the forest and you have the creepy spirit forest god coming. Well, you have like the Kodamas, which are like the little dudes, but then you got the guy. The those guys, which I love those guys. But then you have the forest god who has like he's the deer the deer with the red face, right? Super creepy. But they spend a lot of times with just like those quiet moments or like moments with Yakel, which is like his really trusted red elk.
So sweet and so cute. I love that was my favorite character.
Yakel? Yeah. I was like, Yakel's the best. Like Princess Mononoke I think she's another conversation. But like Yakel, it's like she frees him. She's like, you can go wherever you want, get out of here. And he just stays with him the entire time. So nice. Or when he gets shot, and then he's like, stay behind. And he's like, no, I'm going to come with you.
I know. And then so he has to like bring him and he's like limping behind him.
There's so much that happens in this movie. That's why I like it so much. There's so much adventure and like a big war and everything. How did you feel about Princess Mononoke herself?
Oh, I thought she was pretty badass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She's cool. She's cool. Raised by wolves.
Daughter of the wolf god. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty nice. Yeah. And she animates really well. I like how she's very feral and she kind of like approaches everything like in a really like hunched back and like, I don't know. I love her fighting style. It's really cool. And she's just like a badass woman in film, especially in anime. Like you don't always get that, you know?
And her boobies were not existent because she's a child.
Yeah, I'm not sure how old she is, to be honest with you. Not sure.
Do we see how old the dude was?
Ashtika? I don't think so. I'm not sure. But I really like him too. He's kind of like your standard like protagonist in a big way, but he's just like the best version of everything. He's just like has really good morals. Yeah, he wants everything to be peaceful. He'll help both sides. He just wants everyone to get along, but he's really brave and really badass.
What are your thoughts on him not taking sides? So like the humans were in a way the antagonists. Mm-hmm. Although it's kind of like, oh, there's a balance or whatever.
Yep.
Like for me, it was kind of like, okay, rationally, yes, you should try to broker peace between everyone. But I was just so upset that they were destroying the forest, and I wanted all the humans to get wiped out, especially the leader person.
Yeah, like, no, but even she gets redemption at the end.
Exactly. So. I just want the beautiful forest creatures to just live and not have these dumb humans. Us.
You just want the Kodama little clicky click things to just run around naked. Clicks.
Oh my god, you could see their butts.
Yeah, when they're running around with their butts, I'd love that. What did you think about some of the other human characters? Like we have Toki, who's like the hard-ass woman who's married to the husband that Ashtika saved. She's one of the main people who like kind of hold down the fort with her guns. We have Jigo, who becomes like he's the old guy who first tells everyone like how much gold is worth, and then he kind of helps Ashtika go towards that village, the Irontown village, and then he ends up becoming kind of a bad guy, right? Like he starts off pretty good, and then he's like, oh wait, he's actually working for the emperor, and what he wants to do is cuts off the head of the forest god, and that ends up being this whole amazing sequence. I think
that was like his whole plan all along.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he is such a good analogy for people who are just like his whole goal. He didn't care about anything. I think he wanted the head for money, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't think he wanted the head for any other reason. Any other like motivation other than just to get the reward for it.
Yeah, I think he got left out, or like he ended the movie pretty easy,
Yeah.
he's like, you know what? Fuck it, that wasn't worth it. But that's all that happened to him.
He's the one who did all of that.
Yep. Yeah,
and I feel like he's a good analogy for people who are just like, oh, I'm just trying to make a profit, and I'm not political. I'm not on either side. Like
he's just there to make money.
Yeah, I'm just here just doing my job. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think it's interesting, because you have like a bunch of different, like this movie says a lot about obviously nature and how humans take away from the environment and nature, all that kind of stuff. And that you see that a lot in the Irontown with Lady Eboshi. She's the one who gets her arm chopped off by a wolf, by the Moro, but she also kind of doesn't care about the village. Like she does, but she's like, I kind of want to follow this through as a nice, strong leader.
She did a real 180 there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You have Ashtika, the main character, who's kind of like trying to broker peace between everyone. You have Princess Mononoke, who's like, fuck this, like all these humans, even though I'm a human, she doesn't like to admit it. She's like, no, like the forest is the way, like let's kill all the humans. And then you have the samurai, who are just pure chaos, they just trying to take advantage of a situation. And then you have the Jigo, like his camp, who's just like working for the emperor and just wants to make a buck. So there's so many different camps of people in this movie.
Yeah, I do like that the leader of the Irontown, just like a strong female lead.
And even though she's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, well, it was interesting because she was nice to the lepers and she was nice to the women. And her townspeople, like, they really liked her. They were all behind her. So she must have been a relatively nice ruler.
Mm-hmm.
But her main goal was just to expand Irontown and destroy nature.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. She just wanted to like pillage its resources and do all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right? What did you think about the Nightwalker or the forest god when it becomes like the big Nightwalker without its head and that whole sequence when it's trying to get its head from Jigo?
Oh, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, everything's like dying and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a whole thing. Like you get before that you get the big boar. I forget his name, Okoto or something like that. The blind boar,
Yeah.
who has a bunch of people dressed up in like boar skin, which is like kind of creepy.
That was so creepy. I hated that.
And then you get a bunch of spaghetti on the dark spaghetti because he's turning into a demon.
Oh, I hated the spaghetti.
I love that those two gods like clash together though. You have like Moro and the Okoto, like the wolf and the boar kind of like fighting last minute. But they're both kind of like fighting for no reason basically, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the forest god comes in and says, "Hey, everything's good now." And then I love this is the thing that it's been so long since I've watched the movie, but the thing that's like the memory that I have is the creepy forest god, but when he gets shot through the head.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? Like he's like looking at the camera and then he like shot through the side of the head and then his head explodes like a little bit later.
Wait, the deer thing? The elk thing?
The deer thing, yeah, the forest god with a bunch of antlers.
Yeah, but his head doesn't explode, it just falls.
Well, I think it falls and then doesn't it explode? I thought it did. I wrote explode or blew off his head.
Yes, it blew off his head, but in like clean cut, just like how an arrow can like clean cut your head off.
Just gonna cleave your arms and yeah.
yeah. When the person got both of his arms like shot off by an arrow at the same time, clean off the body.
That happens so much in the movie.
Yeah, but no, I think the head because the head gets put in that basket thing, and then that's what they were chasing. So the head the whole time was intact. And then, so the head gets shot off, and then the goo inside the elk, it starts like oozing, and then the skin just like melts off the body.
Oh
like,
yeah, that's
melts
right.
away from the body, and then the goo inside becomes like this giant thing.
Think about what you're saying right now, and think of like how creative this movie is.
Yeah, that's true.
Like there's just so much like random weirdness to it, but it's not random. It's just I don't know. This is kind of why I like Japanese anime because they think outside the box when it comes to these movies. And I'm hoping, Colleen, that you watch more Studio Ghibli films like Spirited Away and stuff like that because it goes even more trippy and more crazy. And I mean, Princess Mononoke, special place in my heart because of its like really well told story, but if you watch like Spirited Away, still same thing, but like it's just a little bit more trippy and out there, and there's a lot of cool visuals that I think you'd appreciate.
Which is the one? So I thought this one had this person I'm thinking of. Which one has the floaty ghost thing?
Spirited Away.
Is that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's Spirited Away.
Okay.
Of course I do. I watch Japanese and anime. I know my stuff.
Oh, okay.
Or no, sorry. I watch anime and Japanese.
Oh, yeah.
I watch Japanese and anime. That makes no sense.
Just from my terrible description, you knew exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, 1000%.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get you to like these things, Colleen. I want to show you. I want to convert you to like what you were born to like.
Do you watch other like animes other than Studio Ghibli?
You're afraid to say the word Studio G. I come in and out of anime. I used to watch a ton, but now it's kind of a lot of Western television has taken over. But this has kind of re-sparked my joy of anime, and especially anime movies. Those are kind of hard to find, but Studio Ghibli films are like masterclass. I recommend all of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
I definitely will watch more. I really enjoyed this.
And I think you'd enjoy that the forest comes back at the end of the movie.
I know. It was so nice. It was just like neatly tied up in a bow.
Yeah. I cut you off there. What were you trying to say?
Oh, like I really like this movie. And I think I'll like the other ones like Spirited Away. Yeah, maybe this will be my gateway into anime.
Great. I'm holding you to that. I'm going to do a 1-month check-in and say, did Colleen watch any of the anime afterwards, or is she just saying this to be nice on the podcast? We will find out.
Well, I will find out as well.
All right, Colleen, before we end talking about Princess Mononoke, we have to rate it. Now, can you rate Princess Mononoke on an arbitrary scale that you just made up?
Okay, on a scale of one end of my room to the other.
Okay.
No. Okay. No, something that everyone can visualize.
Yeah.
On a scale of Disney Sorcerer's Arena to Animal Crossing for tongue, which means that Disney Sorcerer's Arena is a 0 and Animal Crossing is a 10.
Okay.
Okay. I would rate it. You wait. Do I have to go first?
Yeah. I'm not rating this movie. You gotta rate it.
Oh well. I rate it. I give it like
This is the longest rating
101 Dalmatians.
Okay, perfect. That's what I was looking for. Wow, that took a while. I usually people like to rate it based on something that they've resonated with on the movie they just watched.
Oh,
you did it based on Animal Crossing, 101 Dalmatians, and this mobile game. So no, you can't take back that. It's set in stone.
Okay, no, 1 to 100. Click.
Okay, perfect. I love it. Okay, so you rate it on the click scales from the Kodamas.
Yes.
Okay, and I it is a positive amount of those. A lot of running, a lot of clicks, a lot of butt running.
Okay, do you know that scene when it's like night is becoming day, and then all the clicks are on the top of the trees, and they're just swaying back and forth?
Yep.
That was a great scene.
I think I know what to give you for Christmas this year. I'm just going to send you a little. Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. That 100%. I'm going to find you one, and you're going to get, unless it costs a lot of money.
Okay.
It has to cost very little money for me to send it to you. Before we wrap up the show, thanks again for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
I had fun.
I had fun too. I'm glad you like anime now. You have any plugs for the people at home?
Oh, some plugs. Check out Netflix.
Check out Netflix, check out Studio Ghibli, and check out the rest of the Podcavern at podcavern.com. Lots of shows there. And Colleen, before we let you go, do you have any catchphrases for the people? Your famous catchphrase to end the show. What is it?
Click.
Thanks, everyone. Bye. We'll see you next time. Bye, Colleen.